We have proposed to the Chelsea pitch owners that they vote in favor of several resolutions. And in essence, what those resolutions provide is that they permit Chelsea Football Club to move to another ground with certain protections for the fans and certain incentives for the fans. To go through it maybe as quickly as I can, what we're proposing is that between now and 2020, we could move to a ground within 3 miles of Stamford Bridge. Thereafter, since all the available plots in this general area will have been taken for other purposes, that we would, while acting in the best interest of the club, we could move farther afield. We've made certain commitments to the shareholders, such as the fact that we will provide in any new stadium, if we do move to a new stadium, that at least 10% of the shares will be available for families and juniors. We've provided a few other incentives to vote in favor of the proposal. One is that the Chelsea pitch owners have done a great job in helping the club over the last 15 years, and we would have some kind of a roll of honor or a walk of honor at a new stadium. And finally, that we would provide for these people to also have priority in selecting season ticket seats at a new stadium if there is to be a new stadium.
It's something like the naming rights important because you touched on financial fair play a little bit earlier, and that is something that some clubs are using to try and get within these rules that are gradually coming in.
Naming rights for this stadium is very important, and that's something Ron Gourlay has been spending an awful lot of time on, and hopefully we will get a naming rights partner in the near future. It's not just a matter of finding anybody to do the naming rights. It has to be the right kind of brand and the right kind of sponsor that makes sense for Chelsea Football Club. Going back to the consultation period, which you started with, as I've said earlier in the show, I think there's been plenty of consultation and discussion over the last 10 days, and there'll be more over the next 2 weeks, and we'll see how it comes out on October 27th. But also keep in mind that we have been talking to fans about this general subject since really 2003, 2004, because the first question that every fan asks me when they come up to me is, what about a new stadium? What are you doing about a new stadium? And I and Ron and all the other executives and directors, are talking to fans all the time about this issue and getting an expression of their views.